Everything begins in the mind. Every dream you've had, every goal you've chased, every fear you've faced or avoided, was first born from a belief. Before action, before results, before reality, there is belief. It's the silent architect of your life. And yet, most people never stop to question where their beliefs come from, how they were formed, or whether they even serve them. You were born without limits. As a child, you believed you could be anything, do anything, create anything. But as the world wrapped its hands around your mind, beliefs were installed, some empowering, others disempowering. You absorbed them from your parents, your environment, your culture, your failures. These beliefs became the filter through which you interpreted life. They shaped what you tried, what you avoided, what you expected, and ultimately what you became. Here's the truth most never realize. Beliefs are not facts. They are not destiny. They are learned assumptions. And anything that is learned can be unlearned, rewritten, reprogrammed. Science backs this up. Neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to rewire itself, proves that your beliefs and patterns are not set in stone. They are malleable. The mind is not a container, it's a tool. And the more you understand how to program it, the more power you gain to reshape your life from the inside out. But here's the trap. Most people try to change their life by force. They hustle, grind, push harder. And while action matters, it's only half the equation. Because when your subconscious beliefs are misaligned with your goals, you're fighting an invisible war against yourself. You might want success, but if deep down you believe you're not worthy of it, you'll sabotage it. You might dream of abundance, but if your core programming says money is bad or scarce, you'll unconsciously repel it. That's why belief work is the deepest, most powerful form of transformation. Because when you change the root, the fruit changes automatically. When you shift the story, the outcome shifts with it. So let's go deeper. Ask yourself, what do I believe about myself? About success? About failure? About money, love, happiness, purpose? Who gave me these beliefs? Did I choose them, or did I inherit them? And most importantly, are they helping me, or are they holding me back? This isn't about blame. It's about awareness. Because awareness is the first step to freedom. Once you become conscious of your beliefs, you take back the steering wheel of your life. No longer are you driven by unconscious programming, you become the programmer. The question then becomes, what do I want to believe? Because your beliefs aren't just thoughts. They are energetic commands. They create the lens through which your brain filters information, what you notice, what you ignore, what you take action on. Your beliefs literally sculpt your perception of reality, and perception shapes behavior, and behavior shapes results. In other words, belief is not just powerful, it is foundational. It determines what's possible for you. And if you've been living with a belief system that says you're not good enough, or the world is against you, or success is for others but not for you, it's time to break that system apart. It's time to choose new beliefs, not just intellectually, but emotionally, viscerally, through repetition, through rewiring. This journey starts with awareness, and continues with intention. Reprogramming your beliefs is not an overnight process, it is a deliberate reconditioning of the mind. It's about replacing the software that's been running in the background of your consciousness, sometimes for decades. And it begins with one simple but powerful realization. You are not your thoughts. You are the thinker of those thoughts. And the thinker has the ability to choose new ones. So how do you change a belief? The first step is identification. You must bring your unconscious beliefs into the light. This requires honesty, radical self-inquiry. Notice your patterns, especially the ones that repeat, no matter how much effort you apply. Where do you feel stuck? Where do you always seem to hit a wall? Behind every recurring struggle is a belief quietly directing the script. Start writing them down. When you think about money, what comes up? It's hard to make. I don't deserve wealth. People like me never succeed. These may seem like passing thoughts, but they are not. They are beliefs, deeply rooted and highly influential. The second step is challenging the belief. Ask yourself, is this absolutely true? Who says it has to be this way? Where did this idea come from? And what evidence exists to prove the opposite? This is where your transformation begins. when you no longer accept your beliefs as permanent truths but instead see them as choices. And anything that was chosen can be unchosen. The third step is creating a new belief, one that aligns with who you want to become. But this isn't just about affirmations or positive thinking. Reprogramming happens when repetition meets emotion. You must feel the new belief. You must associate it with powerful images, sounds, sensations. Visualization is key. See yourself already living the new reality. Speak it aloud. Write it down daily. Make it a part of your identity. Because repetition creates familiarity. And what is familiar becomes believable. Neuroscience tells us that the brain doesn't know the difference between what's vividly imagined and what's real. That's why athletes rehearse mentally before performing. That's why people conditioned for fear can panic in the absence of danger. The mind responds to mental images as if they are actual experiences. So if you feed your mind with images of confidence, success, abundance, over and over, with emotion, it begins to accept them as real. And as your belief shifts, your actions follow. This brings us to the fourth step, embodiment. You must act as if the new belief is already true. Not pretend, embody. Live it. If your new belief is, I am worthy of success, then how does that version of you walk, talk, make decisions? How does that person show up in the world? You don't wait for results to feel worthy. You feel worthy, and the results begin to reflect that identity. This is the paradox. You don't wait until you're successful to believe you are. You believe it first. And the belief becomes the seed that grows into reality. Every great transformation begins this way. The person who loses the weight, the entrepreneur who builds the business, the speaker who conquers the stage, it all starts with a belief that says, this is who I am now. And when you shift your identity, everything else follows. But remember, the old beliefs won't just vanish quietly. They will resist. They will whisper old stories. They will try to pull you back into comfort, into habit, into who you used to be. This is why persistence is essential. Repetition. Consistency. You must reinforce the new belief every day. Because you're not just fighting thoughts, you're reconditioning your nervous system. You're training your brain to fire in new ways. You're changing not just what you think, but how you think. And that changes everything. Belief, on its own, is powerful. But belief combined with identity and energy is unstoppable. Because ultimately, you don't get what you want, you get what you are. Your identity is the thermostat that regulates every result in your life. You may wish for abundance, but if your internal setting is still wired for scarcity, you will unconsciously sabotage any progress. To change your results, you must change your internal standard. Your beliefs shape your identity. Your identity shapes your actions. And your actions shape your results. But it works both ways. When you deliberately act from a higher identity, when you make choices as your future self, you begin to rewire your belief system from the inside out. This is why energy matters. Your mental state, your emotional state, this is the fuel of transformation. You must become intentional with the energy you bring to your life. If your thoughts are aligned, but your emotions are fearful, hesitant, or resentful, you're still misaligned. Your body knows. Your subconscious knows. To shift into a new belief system, you must raise your frequency. You must elevate your emotional baseline from fear to courage, from doubt to certainty. You don't need to be perfect, but you must be deliberate. Feed your mind daily with new ideas, new possibilities, and empowering questions. Surround yourself with people who challenge your limits. Immerse yourself in environments that reflect where you want to go, not where you've been. The most successful people in the world don't have fewer limiting beliefs. They've learned to question them faster, replace them more efficiently, and act in alignment with their new identity. So ask yourself, who are you becoming? Because the most powerful question isn't, what do I want? It's, who do I need to become in order to naturally create this result? That question bypasses wishful thinking. It demands embodiment. It demands action. You're no longer chasing success. You're becoming the person for whom success is inevitable. Beliefs are not just ideas. They are programs. Codes that tell your nervous system how to respond to life. If your code is broken, your results will be inconsistent, frustrating, and confusing. But if you install the right code, beliefs of possibility, worthiness, courage, and faith, you will start to see your world change in ways that once seemed impossible. You'll find yourself in the right rooms, meeting the right people, taking bold action, speaking differently, thinking differently, and most of all, feeling different. This is not magic. It's alignment. When your beliefs, your thoughts, your emotions, and your actions are all pointing in the same direction, nothing can stop you. But this requires responsibility. No more blaming circumstances. No more waiting for permission. You must decide that you are worthy. You must declare that your past does not define your future. You must take back control of the one thing that determines everything else, your mind. Reprogramming is not a one-time decision. It's a daily practice. It's repetition with intention. It's falling and realigning. It's being gentle but unshakable. And it's remembering this: your beliefs are not set in stone. They are tools. And you can sharpen them, change them, upgrade them, anytime you choose. Your life will always reflect what you believe is possible. So raise the standard. Choose the belief that serves your highest self. And let everything you do from this moment forward be a reflection of who you're becoming, not who you used to be. Because the power is already within you. The key is belief. And now, you know how to use it.